Hello everyone, it's Spurs Radio 96 here, and welcome to the 7th episode of the FIFA 20 Borussia Mönchengladbach career mode. We begin today's episode with Bundesliga action here at Borussia Park, but the snow just started to come down. You can tell it's the winter season, as Mönchengladbach hosts the bottom club VfB Stuttgart. If you haven't checked out the last episode, I advise you do so. Well, we had a pretty good episode. We managed to cement our place in the next round of the UEFA Europa League with a win away at Istanbul Basaksehir. Then we had a mixed bag on the domestic front. We managed to beat Werder Bremen in one of the most exciting and competitive matches of the season, in my personal opinion. Then we had a very disappointing draw at Hannover 96, who were bottom at the time. But a clean sheet is a clean sheet. As you can tell by that statistic, VfB Stuttgart are the lowest scoring club in the division, scoring just 7 goals, which is 3 less than the next worst teams, which are Hannover 96 and FC Schalke. Of course, the reserve team are in action, and hopefully they can continue Mönchengladbach's unbeaten run, which is very, very good. We haven't lost since the third game of the season on the Bundesliga, which was at home against Red Bull Leipzig. And Mönchengladbach have been unbeaten for 8 games on the spin, and hopefully we can continue that unbeaten run, because at the moment we're still in 5th place in the league. We've been sat in 5th place every time we win or every time our match is finished. We're always in the 5th place, and hopefully we can just keep going and hopefully break into the top 4. For the VfB Stuttgart side, they're going for a very attacking / defensive 4-5-2 formation, a very odd lineup indeed. But VfB Stuttgart need to have defensive solidarity, as well as trying to at least get some goals on their scoreboard, because if they don't score goals, they're not going to have any chance of staying in the Bundesliga. So let's begin the first half highlights onto the second and third minute. Mönchengladbach have the ball, and Stindl goes down there, and no foul, but Mbolo goes down, and it is a penalty for Borussia Mönchengladbach, the first of the career mode, and VfB Stuttgart are off to a terrible start at Borussia Park. The club who can't score many goals are starting. There'll probably be a table with them conceding the most goals, and that is not what they would like to see. But Lars Stindl's going to step up, but that will change, as Mbolo, who will probably feel a bit enraged after that, is going to take the strike. I didn't personally think it was a very malicious challenge, but a penalty is a penalty, and Mbolo's going to take it, and he puts it in. Mbolo scores, and Borussia Mönchengladbach take the lead past 4 minutes played. And that's a dreadful start for VfB Stuttgart. The first penalty of the career mode, fantastically converted by Mbolo. Thump. Close to the middle of the net. And Borussia Mönchengladbach, their unbeaten streak is going to go on at the moment in time. Briel Mbolo's second goal of the Bundesliga. All of his goals, have come at Borussia Park. And past 4 or 5 minutes, it's Borussia Mönchengladbach 1, VfB Stuttgart 0. 25th minute, and we have a goal kick from Sipel, and he's giving it away. Miscommunication at the back. And Gonzalo has a chance, and he's taken it. Oh, what a disaster. And VfB Stuttgart scored just their 8th goal of the entire season. And Borussia Mönchengladbach, who love scoring goals, love conceding them as well. A terrible mistake at the back again. We've had some horrible mistakes at the back this season. We bottled it at Dortmund when we were leading. We had a poor goal given away. We gave a goal away to Werder Bremen in the last home match. And now we've only gone and done it again, this time against the bottom club, VfB Stuttgart. And Nicolas Gonzalez, with his first goal of the season, means it's Borussia Mönchengladbach 1, VfB Stuttgart 1. Very, very disappointing. When this game, we should really be out of sight. But there goes the half-time whistle. As I said, very disappointed to be coming in level. Stuttgart were nowhere near at their best. I mean, it was one-way traffic in the first half. So the performance has been encouraging. I mean, it's harder to, we've struggled to create chance, to convert the chances we've created, maybe because of the slower conditions or snowy conditions, or maybe because that final ball hasn't been too great. But it's level, and that is a disappointment. On to the 85th minute of the second half highlights. Here's Nuos. Mbolo, and Stindl is there, and he's done it. Lars Stindl, the warhorse of Mönchengladbach. has scored a potential critical winner. A crucial winner for Mönchengladbach. Brilliant build-up play there from Nuos and Embolo. Lars Stindl was in space, and finally one of the chances that Mönchengladbach have created has been taken, and Lars Stindl has scored a potentially critical goal. That means another 3 points for Mönchengladbach, and it means back-to-back could now be consecutive home victories in the Bundesliga with the same scoreline at this stage. Lars Stindl's third goal of the season. It is 2-1. And the full-time whistle is going to blow. And Borussia Mönchengladbach edge to victory thanks to a 86th minute strike from Lars Stindl. Second half has been... We battered them in the second half. I mean, the amount of chances we created were crazy. We just couldn't quite take them, maybe because of the snowy conditions, or maybe because our final ball wasn't that too great. We could have won in quite comfortable fashion, but we made it harder for ourselves thanks to that silly goal we conceded, which Gonzalez took advantage of in the first half. But full time, we're back to winning ways in the Bundesliga. It's Borussia Mönchengladbach 2, VfB Stuttgart 1. And let's go on to the second game of the Bundesliga of the episode, and probably the biggest game of the season as far as the Bundesliga is concerned. It's Borussia Mönchengladbach, who are back at Borussia Park once again, as they'll be hosting the so far undefeated record champions Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich have only had 2 teams take points off them. That was a draw against Mainz and a draw against Bayer Leverkusen, who are so far their nearest challengers. Fantastic atmosphere as well at Borussia Park, with that lovely tifo there of the date which the club was founded, I should say. And Robert Lewandowski, the record man apparently, is going to be. He scored 11 goals so far, which is crazy. But the record amount of goals a player has scored in this competition is 40 goals, and Lewandowski is aiming to break that record. The first team does indeed return to play this big match. As you can see there, look, number 32, Norris, he plays his second consecutive match, as after that match against VfB Stuttgart, his overall rating was 1 better than the number 8 of Sakara. As you can see, he's on the bench. So at the moment, Nuos and Thuram, who have displaced Sakara and Johnson, will remain in the first team if their performances and overall ratings get better than their counterparts. But look at Bayern Munich's lineup. We're going for the same formation, 4-2-3-1, so that's going to make it just as difficult. But as you can see from the lineup of world-class stars, look at that front four there. You know, Lewandowski, Thomas Müller, Gnabry, Koeman, Neuer at the back, Süle, Hernandez, Alaba, Goretzka. It's going to be really tough. And the first half proved to be tough, but I was very happy to come in at 0-0 as the half-time whistle goes. It's been a bit of a battle in the midfield, really, in the park, to keep both teams dispossessing each other back and forth. As you can see, Thomas Müller hasn't had any shots on or off target, which shows just how good Borussia Mönchengladbach's defence have been. Hopefully we can get a clean sheet and not bottle it for once. But half-time at Borussia Park, it is 0-0. 79th minute. And Alaba's got the ball back, but it's dispossessed from the Sardi play. Here's Andre Silva in the 80th minute. There's a chance, play with the strike. Neuer saves. And Hazard's got the ball. And he's put it into the net. Thorgan Hazard. He might have scored the most important goal of his Mönchengladbach career. The most important goal of the career mode. Could it be? Could this be the goal? Could this be the game? Could Mönchengladbach be the team where Bayern Munich finally tastes defeat in the Bundesliga? Of all the players, David Alaba, one of the best left backs in the world, made a mistake, and Mönchengladbach pounced on it. I mean, play took a strike, was safe from Neuer, but the ball ricocheted kindly back to Thorgan Hazard, who tucked it in. Cool, calm finish. His second goal of the season for Thorgan Hazard, and it's potentially the most important. On the verge of making history in his career mode. It's 1-0. And the full-time whistle does blow. And Mönchengladbach do create history in a career mode. The first team to beat Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga. Their unbeaten streak ends, while our little unbeaten streak goes on. It's now 10 games undefeated in the Bundesliga. And that's 2 straight wins on the bounce. And it's 3 consecutive home victories in the Bundesliga. And a fantastic performance from the boys as Thorgan Hazard's sole strike means Bayern Munich are beaten, and our goal of top of the Champions League places is getting ever closer. Full time, it's Borussia Mönchengladbach 1, Bayern Munich 0. Fantastic. And that will certainly give the players confidence as we will commence our UEFA Europa League press conference against AS Roma. It will be our last press conference of the group stage. This is the last game of Group J, and both teams fighting for top spot. If Roma do win, then they will be top of the group, but if we get a draw or a win against Roma, we will cement first place in the group, as we have a far more superior goal difference. I mean, the previous game we put 5 goals past Roma at the Stadio Olimpico, which is crazy as well as very unrealistic, and at that point I actually changed the game speed to normal. I originally had it at slow, but after the crazy results of 7 past Frankfurt, 5 against Başakşehir and 5 against Roma, I thought it was about time we changed things up a little bit. And they're just asking the various questions, are we going to put 5 goals past Roma? Are we going to win like we did against Bayern Munich? But we have to be calm. This is a long season, and so far everything's going to plan. This fantastic unbeaten run at the moment. I mean, overall, if you look at international as well as European as well as domestically, the only team that's beaten us of late is, ironically, the bottom club of the group of the Europa League. That is Wolfsburger AC, when they beat us 3-2 here at Borussia Park. Another fantastic atmosphere with that fantastic tifo and a full house, even though the rain is starting to come down. It's a battle for first place between Borussia Mönchengladbach of Germany and AS Roma of Italy. It's going to be some fight, and it'll be some conclusion to the group as well. No doubt there's a lot on the line here for AS Roma to be top spot in the group. Of course, if you get top spot in the group, there is a better chance that you might be facing, let's say, a harder opponent, or tougher opponent in the round 32 stage. But at the moment, the table currently looks like this. I can tell you, Mönchengladbach are top, Roma is second, and then third and fourth is Istanbul Başakşehir and Wolfsburger AC. Will be playing against each other for, well, sheer pride, really. But there's the lineup for Borussia Mönchengladbach. Andre Silva loves this competition. He's been scoring goals left, right and centre. In fact, he scored, I believe, 6 goals in the competition. 2 of them against Istanbul Başakşehir at home, 1 against Roma, and I believe 2 away at Istanbul Başakşehir, I think. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe 5-6 goals. But there's Roma's lineup. Henrik Mkhitaryan, Ruben Neves is in there, Fazio, Lopez, Kalinic there as well. A competitive lineup for AS Roma. On to the first half highlights, and quite a poor first half, actually, I'll be honest with you. Both teams really poor. Not many chances were created. There was a bit of a battle in the midfield, just like Bayern Munich, but I was expecting a bit better considering how well we played it at Roma's ground when we put 5 past them in the first half. But half-time here at Borussia Park with the rain coming down, it's 0-0. 70th minute of the second half. It's been a bit of a dogfight, but Mönchengladbach, and that's a great pass from Masani play, and Andre Silva is there. And Borussia Mönchengladbach take the lead. It could be 3 straight home wins in all competitions for Mönchengladbach at the moment. Roma were caught cold. Brilliant pass from Asani play. Great agility and stamina from Andre Silva to just run. Charge away from his opponent, from his opponents, which are Fazio and company. And that's a great strike as well. Great finish. And as it stands, Mönchengladbach are going to be top of the group. with Andre Silva scoring his 6th goal of the Europa League. So it was 5 goals he scored prior to the match. It is Mönchengladbach 1, Roma 0. 77 minutes, just 7 minutes later. And Ruben Neves has got the ball back, and here's Zanzolo. Mönchengladbach have to be organised. There's a mistake at the back. What a brilliant finish. Brilliant, cool, calm, composed finish from Zanzolo. And Roma are level just a few minutes after Mönchengladbach took the lead. I don't know which defender it was that went over, made a tackle at the wrong time. Might have been Ginter, and that is a terrible. Yeah, it was indeed Ginter who made who did a terrible slide tackle there. And Zanzolo, what a great finish. And AS Roma are back in the game, and that is a goal we didn't want to have it. Nicola Zanzolo, his 4th goal of the Europa League as well. He likes scoring in the Europa League, doesn't he? And it's Mönchengladbach 1, Roma 1. We will still qualify at this stage. And the full-time whistle goes. It is not a winning end to Group J, but it is a draw. It means no defeat at least. So Borussia Mönchengladbach do finish top of the group, despite a draw against Roma. I think a draw is a fair result in the end. Both teams cancelling each other out in terms of performance. Maybe we could have done a bit better there when Nicolo Zanolo, whatever you say his name, scored the equaliser for Roma. But we are top of the group, and that is the most important thing. Full time at Borussia Park. It's Borussia Mönchengladbach 1, Roma 1. And let's go on to the interview now, the post-match interview of the last Group J match of the Europa League. And so far, it's so good for Borussia Mönchengladbach in the Europa League. Remember, the objective from the board of directors, a very ambitious one, mind you, is to try and win the Europa League. And I don't think Mönchengladbach have won any European competition since the 1970s. So that shows you how. That just shows you the mountain we have to climb in order to achieve that target of winning the Europa League. But regardless, the overall objective is to get into the Champions League, either by the domestic, either by the Bundesliga, or via the Europa League, which of course, if you win, you get automatic qualification to the Champions League as well. And they're just asking us a question here of what were my thoughts when AS Roma equalised. Well, I mean, we aim to just keep going and try everything we can to win, and that's as simple as that. I didn't settle for a draw, but I think latter stages, like 85th minute, I think a draw, I would have settled. I'd settle for a draw. So let's take a look then at the table. Bayern Munich are top still with 38 points, but look, they have a defeat at long last. 12 wins, 2 draws, 1 defeat, 35 goals scored, 6 conceded. That is the best in the Bundesliga in terms of attack and defence. Red Bull Leipzig are now second with 34 points, tying on 34 points. They've got 11 wins, 1 draw, 3 defeats, 27 goals scored, 9 conceded. Bayer Leverkusen are down to third with 34 points, 11 wins, 1 draw, 2 defeats, 27 goals scored, 12 conceded, but they have a game in hand. So do Borussia Dortmund, who are fourth with 32 points, 10 wins, 2 draws, 2 defeats, 31 goals scored, 6 conceded. Mönchengladbach remain in 5th place, cement 5th place, only just. They've got 30 points, 9 wins, 3 draws, 2 defeats, 26 goals scored, 13 conceded. TSG Hoffenheim are 6th with 29 points, 9 wins, 2 draws, 4 defeats, 22 goals scored, 11 conceded. VfL Wolfsburg are 7th with 25 points, 8 wins, 1 draw, and 5 defeats, 25 goals scored, 13 conceded. They have a game in hand over Hoffenheim. Hertha Berlin was 8th with 24 points, I think. And Werder Bremen is 9th with 20 points. FC Augsburg complete the top 10 with 19 points. Eintracht Frankfurt slowly climbing up the table. They're 11th with 18 points. FC Köln are recovering rather well as too. They're 12th with 16 points. Fortuna Düsseldorf is 13th with 15 points. FSV Mainz is 14th with 13 points. FC Nuremberg are 15th with 10 points, scoring 15 goals and conceding 33 in the process. Schalke are in real trouble. They're in the relegation playoff zone with 9 points, 2 wins, 3 draws, 9 defeats, 12 goals scored, 28 conceded. Hannover 96 are 17th with 8 points, 2 wins, 2 draws, 11 defeats, 12 goals scored, 32 conceded, but that is nothing compared to VfB Stuttgart. Look at these statistics. Just 1 win all season in the Bundesliga, 2 draws, 12 defeats, the most of anyone, 8 goals scored. the worst offensive record in the league, as well as having the worst defence, conceding 39 goals. They have 5 points. Let's take a look at the Champions League group stages, as well as Europa League. Real Madrid are top with 16 points, a clean sweep there. PSG, the champions of France, have progressed as well with 13 points. Galatasaray, the champions of Turkey, are in the Europa League. For Group B, Tottenham Hotspur advanced with 15 points, level with Bayern Munich. They also suffered a defeat as well. So Spurs and Bayern Munich, the Mönchengladbach, the only teams to beat Bayern Munich. I think Olympiacos go into the Europa League. Manchester City go into the knockout stages, as do Atlanta. Group D, Juventus or Piemonte Calcio, Atletico Madrid go through to the next stage. Bayer Leverkusen go into the Europa League. Liverpool and Napoli go through to the knockout stages. Red Bull Salzburg are in the Europa League, the champions of Austria. Group F, this is a surprise, Inter Milan top the group. With Barcelona going in second, Borussia Dortmund are out and are into the Europa League. What a surprise that is. Group G, Olympique Lyonnais top the group with 18 points, a clean sweep too, the only team to have 6 straight wins, no draws or any defeats. Red Bull Leipzig are second with 12 points. Benfica, the Portuguese champions, go to the Europa League. Group H, Valencia top the group, unbelievable, with 14 points. Ajax are in second. Chelsea are out, the reigning Europa League champions, will be playing in the Europa League knockout stages. For the Europa League groups, as we come on to it now, Group A, Sevilla and Liga Warsaw of Poland are going through. Group B, you've got Dynamo Kiev of Ukraine and SC Copenhagen in first and second. Group C, AC Milan go through of Italy. Getafe of Spain are in second with 12 points. Group D, PSV Eindhoven of the Netherlands and Portugal Sporting Lisbon are first and second in Group D. Group E, you've got Lazio, who got 18 points. Wow, unbelievable for Italy there. Celtic, the Scottish champions, do advance through to the next stage. Well done to them. Celtic, even though they lost 3-0 against Lazio at home, they just squeaked through. Group F, Arsenal advance with 16 points. Germany's Eintracht Frankfurt is in second with 11 points. Group G, Porto of Portugal and Scotland's Rangers advance through as well. So that's great to see both Scottish clubs in the knockout stages. The Rangers have 9 points on the board. Group H, Espanyol of Spain top the group, with RC Strasbourg of France, I believe that is, in second place with 13 points. Group I, VfL Wolfsburg and Saint-Étienne of France go through in Group I. Group J, as you know, Mönchengladbach top the group there with 13 points, scoring 23 goals and conceding 7. Roma in second. Group K, Wolverhampton Wanderers had a great European campaign. They've got 16 points. Turkish side Besiktas go through in second place. And Group L, Manchester United go through with a clean sweep. AZ of the Netherlands advanced in second. Heart and Midlothian, miserable campaign there. No points at all. So yeah, let's take a look then at the preview of the next episode, as we have a big match actually in the Bundesliga, as we'll be away at VfL Wolfsburg. Then we have a cup match, as we'll be playing once again Werder Bremen at home in the third round of the DFB Pokal. I'm sure Werder Bremen will be looking for revenge. And then to conclude the episode, we have a home match against FC Nuremberg, who are 15th in the league. So yeah, I just want to say thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoy the series, as I am making them, and I will see you next time. Thank you.